Good afternoon. So we continue our session block. Dear colleagues, we are glad to see you at the Applied Intelligence Systems session. There are 5 presentations in this part. I remind about the time limit, 7 minutes for each speaker. That includes 5 minutes for presenting the main results and 2 minutes for answering questions. So we start. And the first presentation is the National System of Higher Education and the State Order for its Services as Activators for the Development of IT Entrepreneurship. Who will be the speaker?
Good afternoon. I'll be a speaker.
Anastasiia, please.
I will share my screen. Please, if you can see this.
Yeah, we see.
So good afternoon. It's an honor for me to speak at today's conference. I want to thank you for this opportunity from me and my colleagues who have worked on this paper. The National System of Higher Education and the State Order for its Services as Activators of the Development of IT Entrepreneurship. We have analyzed the features of the development of IT entrepreneurship in Ukraine. Particular attention was paid to the study of regional differences in the volumes of government procurement for the training of IT specialists. The progressive development of entrepreneurship in the IT sphere of Ukraine is confirmed by the increase in the number of business entities by type of economic activity, information, and telecommunication. Dynamics in trends of business entities is demonstrated by the indicator of the number of employees. For example, declining by 9.9 thousand persons annually at enterprises, it grew annually by 16.9 thousand persons in terms of individual entrepreneurs. We have used clustering technology to systematize the information array of initial data about higher education institutions in Ukraine. So the 4 clusters were distinguished. First one, Karyy, where the largest number of institutions is located. The second one is represented by Halkiv region. The third one, cluster C, includes Dnipropetrovsk, Lviv, and Odessa regions, where 24% of higher education institutions is concentrated. And the last one, cluster D, the biggest cluster with the biggest number of regions. So the estimated values of concentration and localization indicators signaling of the presence of regional asymmetries in the higher education in Ukraine. We have hypothetically assumed that the volume of government procurement for the training of higher education seeking students for the IT sector may contribute to the activation of IT entrepreneurship. To verify this assumption, the analysis of government procurement volumes in 2019 and 2020 of the field of knowledge information technology was performed. We emphasized only positive changes. For example, the volumes of government procurement for specialist training of the IT sphere in Ukraine in 2019-2020 increased by 3%. Preliminary calculations harmonize with the data on IT clusters. The ranks of the top 5 regions of Ukraine by the number of IT companies, the number of their staff, and the volume of government procurement for the field of knowledge information technology coincide. This serves as a basis for establishing the validity of this hypothetical assumption. The progressive development of entrepreneurship in the IT sphere of Ukraine is confirmed by the accelerated increase in the number of business entities and their employees. Also, regional asymmetries in the localization of higher education institutions and the volume of government procurement for the field of knowledge, information technology should be noted. To sum it up, if these trends continue, its role in the country's economy will increase. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Dear colleagues, your questions, please. Okay, let me ask. You have conducted evaluations, got some statistics. Where can you apply the results of your research?
These results can be applied like some perspective for creating additional schools in the universities for training students or teachers, IT technologies for future employment. For example, if a university doesn't have the needed amount for this, you can go to this school and study, and maybe the government will play a big role in this, and will help people, not only like procurement in universities, but also additional to help people to be a part of IT industry in Ukraine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Continue. And the next presentation is activation of the educational process by changing the curriculum in higher school. Who will be the speaker? Okay, maybe there are no authors at the moment. We will return to this presentation later. Then the next presentation is social networks as tools to promote the measures of higher education institutions during the pandemic. Please. You're welcome to present your research. Please turn on your microphone. Yeah, we can see the presentation. Please turn on. Yeah, everything is okay, please.
The theme of our paper, social networks as tools to promote the matters of higher education institution during the pandemic. Relevance of the topic. The topic of the research is relevant to establish close relationship with the target audience and draw attention to the activities of an organization. A more effective method is to fill the page with information on social networks. The use of such methods is an affordable, cost-effective solution to the problem of promotion university activities and career guidance work, especially during the pandemic. Experience of using social network during career guidance work. The use of social network of cover information about the activities of higher education institution and their career guidance work, especially in the phase of the pandemic, is appropriate and affects the generation of reputation and trust. What is more, the feedback effect of student applicants on the activities of institution through the social network strengthens the reputation promoters measure in the coverage of news events and changes that take place in education and student life in general. What are the basic rules for publishing a post? Publish post at a convenient time for your audience. Fill the page with interesting information. Post must be creative. Add video, images on the topic on the page. An important point to pay attention to is the attainment, a balance between the professional interest of a person and her physiological characteristic, and taking into account the opportunities on the job market. The creative page on social networks that promote their majors must emphasize the criteria and skills that students will acquire by choosing a major by vocation, and what are the opportunities for career growth with content self-improvement. Please look at the context diagram. The context diagram contains one main process, promotion of the major of social network Facebook, which is connected with data streams for internal entities, paid administrator, deputy for career guidance department, a head of department, and applicants. Level 1 DFD decomposing the process of promotion of the major social network. Level 1 DFD of decomposing of the process of promotion of the major social network consists of three sub-processes, namely creating a page, development of information of the page, in process function of the page. The second level of decomposing, in order to carry out the practical implementation, each sub-process must be detailed. We decompose level 2 of the process of developing the information content of the page, which is shown in figure, choosing an editor to create product design, and placing content on page. Number of the members of the countries following information library archives group of Facebook. According to the group statistics, the number of participants following the group is 426. 404 of them are from Ukraine, the rest from abroad. Activity of the members in
Please, you've got 1 minute left.
According to a statistic from December 14, 2020 to February 11, 2021, there were 346 active participants. The peak of activity was on December 22nd and January 18. The statistic of the involvement of group member observed from December 14 to February 11, 2021 shows good feedback. 47 posts, 31 was comment, 407 reactions. Distribution of target audience. By the indicator sex, we can see that the percentage of female and male audiences is different, 82, 10% and 17, 19% respectively. This suggests that the profile is of great benefit to a family audience. Please look at the formula. Let us determine the coefficient of involvement by the formula ER. In our case, ER 19%, given the fact that the number of members is 426, that is for a given number of audience, this is the average rate of interaction. Conclusion, thus the interest of social network is growing, and during the pandemic they have came into sharp focus because they became an important source of convening the necessary information in order to meet the new information need of the users. The result of the study show that we need to involve user more actively in the future. It is planned to develop a more effective strategy that will allow application to optimize the process of choosing a professional and further successful career growing as the major is in demand in the job market. Thank you for attention.
Yes, thank you. Are there any questions? Please, colleagues. Thank you for an interesting presentation. We will continue. So the next presentation is teaching in the internet environment against the background of COVID-19, integration of video content into e-learning. And Tetiana Bilushchak is a speaker. Please, you're welcome. Or Ivan Bratus, please. Tetiana, please turn on your microphone. We can't see your presentation and can't hear you. Yeah, we see the presentation. Yeah, everything is okay. Please start.
Sorry, technical problems. It's my computer. Hello. Let me introduce our topic. Oh, sorry. Oh. Let me introduce our topic, teaching in the internet environment against the background of COVID-19, integration of video content into e-learning. Authors Tetiana Bilushchak and Ivan Bratus. So the relevance of the research topic is that radical change taking place in the field of education learning is actively use distance learning technology being developed, so the use of state-of-the-art video resource and integration of video content into learning will improve the quality of learning motivation for learning activities due to quarantine restrictions caused by the need to prevent the spread of acute respiratory disease COVID-19 caused by coronavirus SARS-CoV-2. The purpose of this study is to determine the feasibility of integration video content into e-learning against the background of COVID-19. Consider typology of education video content in learning. So on this slide, there is tables where we present the types of video content and their examples. So this slide show scheme for choosing the type of education video content when working on units of the selected topic of the class. So integration of YouTube video content into the Moodle e-learning environment imagine various platforms available for the distributions of open access video content. We consider the integration of YouTube into learning platforms, organization on the basis of the Moodle distance learning platforms. Now consider comparative analysis of data as a result of the survey. A survey of responses from two universities, Lviv Polytechnic National University and Boris Grynchenko Karyy University, has been conducted. 129 respondents took part in the research. Table 2 shows the data obtained by processing two compared conditions for the surveyed data of video content watching intervals, namely by article and the desired times for video content watching, where the surveys were conducted for such time intervals as 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, and 45 minutes. On this slide illustrates in the forms of a histogram the result of change after processing to comparative conditions for saved data intervals of video content watching. We can see in this figure that 30 minutes long videos preferred by females almost 20 times 12 times, sorry, more often than males in relations of the total number of the interview females respondents. To start the possible times intervals and preference in the watching videos that video not in the save, we will construct two approximate functions based on the data obtained as a result of the server separately for man and woman.
Please complete your presentation.
We construct approximation functions using formula for specific values that we received as a result of processing data obtained from people separately for female and for male. Table 3 shows the data on the saved male and female respondents approximate by functions for women and for men. According to formulas 3, 4, respectively.
Tetiana, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Please
In the
complete
slide,
your presentation. 1 minute, please.
in this slide, feature show functions and constructed based on the result of the 50-degree approximation polynomials according to formulas. In this slide illustrates preround of studying the disciplines as accompanied with materials with video content posted on the Moodle platform during distance learning caused by COVID-19. To the open questions was studying of disciplines during the distance learning caused by COVID-19, accompanied by materials with video content posted on the Moodle platform. The answers were obtained with such result as yes, 36.4%, no, 54%, and 32% of respondents confirmed the need to accompany the materials with video content. That is more in the framework of your research. Students of different courses majoring in information library and science of Lviv Polytechnic National University and graphic designs of Boris Grynchenko Karyy University were asked the questions: would you like your teacher to create video content for studying the topic? Were the result of the save were distributed in this way? The majority of 71% of students confirm and express the interest. There is not need to make additional video content on the disciplines they study. As for 24.8% of respondents online class is annoyed to understand the topic, and 1% of students confirms that they already have video content on studying the disciplines topic in their e-learning. The result of the survey confirms the great interest in studying topic with the help of video content created by the teacher of the disciplines. The result of the answer to the clarifying questions, in which the would you like to receive information in video content, were distributed as follows: 67% video scribing, 54% video lecture, 31.8% video instructions, and 24.8% the presence of pop-up questions during the video materials. So the understand the quality of integration of video content into learning against the background of COVID-19 in academic disciplines by students. We have conducted in empirical study based on various courses in information library in cave science at the Lviv Polytechnic National University and graphic designs at the Boris Grynchenko Karyy University. The sample is 129 respondents. Imagine the advantages for using video content during the study of the disciplines. Respondents indicate and options to stop the lecture, laboratory work, to comprehend the information obtained. 1% use the go back functions to listen to the metals against 79% within the research. We have also obtained data from the development of two comparative conditions for the served date of the video content watching intervals, namely by.
Thank you. Sorry to interrupt you. We've got 10 minutes left and 2 presentations. Please.
Yes, sorry. Thank you and patience.
Yeah, thank you. It was really interesting. Thank you. And the next presentation is the intelligence system development for psychological analysis of the person's condition. And Oksana Oborska, please, you're welcome.
Good afternoon. Sorry. 1 minute. Oh. I'm assistant of the Department of Automated Signal Systems at Polytechnic National University, and today I want to present to your attention an article on the topic the intelligence system development for a psychological analyst of the person's conditions. The authors of this article is Oborska, Vasyl, Andrunyk, Liliya, Chyrun, Ruslan, Hasko, Anatolii, Vysotskyi, Solomiia, Mushasta, Oksana, Petrasova, and Ivashchenko. The next slides. The diagrams are developed that describe the structures, logic of the system, description system requirement according to a RAP methodology of done and a prototype application that simulates the action of an individual analysis system was created. In order to psychology is not enough to have the skills, the mind, and the honesty. The success first depends on the psychological culture of human. This is rarely one in today work in the age of social networks. The accounts have become an inexhaustible source of information about each individual. A post of Twitter, contact, and Facebook post, even subscription to Karyy, to Steam bands and music are valuable information that allowed you to find all a nearly complete psychological portrait of a person before getting to know him. Therefore, information research and programs available to help determine a person's psychological or emotional state through social network, and they will have one major flaw: they are not automated. Therefore, the construction of information systems that will perform this work is relevant. The purpose of the work is to create information system for analyze person data of the user message of social network, tricks, acts, and not build a psychological portrait of a person with the generate of conclusion and recommendation of the psychological and emotional state of the individual. They're actively using social network parcel information himself, all of a variable of information. It's possible to say anything specification about the person based on this information or to use it. For example, for job evaluation, the difference between man and woman we show in this slide, and the difference between our groups. The difference between extrovert and introvert, between nervous and emotional stable, we show to another figure. This research is part of the World Wide Bank project, in which several studies based on social network analysts have made and are being carried out. The next slides. On this diagram, we can see a predication of individual special and other characteristic of the user's Facebook. The advance of such resource is of use. The user simply enters the requirement test and the system automatically processes. However, the disadvantage is that the system do not allow you to determine the psychological or emotional state of a person because they interested for statistical processing of the text. The next sequence diagram describe a process of psychological analysis of a person initiated by a particular use of the system. The user logs in and queries the person's database. Information system finds the person, processes the data, and returns the result. Before shutting down, the system records this session to its database. Show example of this common dependency packet diagram that depict a typical web-based information system architecture for working with database and system decision logic. The grant project software allows you for visual analysis the development of a particular software product or system and for properly allocate the resources and time of product staff. The tool available and wanted innovation such as untimely completion of the product, misallocation of forces, and more. The main step is subdivide the product into subtasks and identify the executors. Next. After all the subtasks are created, we get the diagram shown in the first figure, and another we are possible to review and check whether the resources in the product were properly allocated. All the law of action, we obtain a product diagram showing the sequence of software can process as a result. After granting all the necessary feature, we get a site template with after testing ready for use. We can see. Next slide. In the diagram, we show of the information system database for the analyst of the person's psychological state. Be analogy with the defining of the amount of information we introduce for the following concept. The level of events of the decision maker is a doctor maybe. It's an indicator of the expert level of knowledge about the subject of analysis of research. The text file analysis and result and 10 most used for the text will display it in addition, based of the comparison of keywords, the psychological emotional state of the person will deduce. Therefore, the site contains all the necessary information and does not create difficulties for the user in working with it. All functions are clear and straightforward.
Okay, thank you, Oksana. Please continue.
After success optimization, the user is taken to the home page of the resource where his personal information will be displayed, and a block where the user can select the file for analyst and analyze it. To analyze the text, select the text file and click Analyze button. We can see it with slides.
Thank you, Oksana. I'm so sorry. Yeah, there are conclusions. I should interrupt you, yeah, because 1 minute just left. Thank you very much. It was really interesting. Yeah, so one presentation is not shown in this part, but the authors have prepared the video that is on the YouTube channel, and we can watch it there. And now, dear colleagues, we close the Applied Intelligence System session. We are grateful to all the participants, wish you new scientific researchers. Look forward to seeing you next year at the 6th Collins Conference. And tomorrow we invite you to the closing session that will start at 5 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So, goodbye.